Hello guys, today I'm going to be reviewing the book George, Nicholas, and Wilhelm by Miranda Carter. This is the biography of the three rulers during World War I. You have George V, who is the monarch of Great Britain. You have Nicholas II, who is Tsar of all the Russias, and you have Wilhelm II, who is Kaiser of Germany. And this biography tells pretty much their birth and all the events that led pretty much to World War I. And it ends pretty much after World War I with like an epilogue at the end to tell what happened to everyone else. I really enjoyed this book. I know a lot about this time period, but there was one monarch in particular that I didn't know too much about, and that was Wilhelm II. I knew that he had a deformity. He had problems with his arm because when his mother was giving birth to him, they had to pretty much pull the baby out of her, and that caused him to have a really bad arm. And because of this makes him, he needs to be bigger and stronger than everybody else, and he needs to have the best this and the best that. And when they would get together for family reunions, he would do things to like he would have a brass band, and he'd try and have the biggest ship of everyone and things of that nature. And you know, a lot of his relatives did not like him very much because of his very loud nature, his really, you know, kind of spoiled child nature, and he could get kind of crazy at times. I didn't know too much about him until I read this book. I'd watched some documentaries, but I know more about the Romanovs and the Windsors. And then you have Nicholas II, who was ruler of all the Russias, Tsar of all the Russias, and he should have not been Tsar. He would have been much better as a country gentleman, you know, planting things and living out in the country and taking walks and playing tennis with his children. And he was a family man, and he was not cut out for the job of ruling. And that was pretty much his downfall after World War I. He was shot by the Bolsheviks in 1918. And then you had George, who had a very similar temperament towards Nicholas, but he kind of did his duty, and he had a really hard grasp on the monarchy. And you know, now we have the present queen, and who is his, you know, George V was the only one that kept the monarchy going and figured out after the war, we need to modernize a little bit more. We can't just be cloistered up, otherwise we're gonna lose our thrones, just like my cousin did and my cousins did. And he really, you know, did more things, and he had his children go and visit, you know, people in unemployment and coal, you know, people that were coal miners and things of that nature. And you know, it shows because now we have, I think Queen Elizabeth is his granddaughter. Yeah, Queen Elizabeth is his granddaughter. And you know, she's the only one that that has the monarchy out of these three. So this is a really good book, but it is really long because it goes from the childhood to pretty much an epilogue. And I I really enjoyed this book, and I'd liked hearing more about the rise, like how all this became, all these three kind of had a hand in World War I. I think a lot of people just got sick of just, you know, peasants are starving and the royals are living it up, and they're not really, you know, doing anything. And I think people just got so sick of that that's how it happened, pretty much. And the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand as well, but there's other factors, and I liked hearing about those other factors. And there's really not a lot to say about this book. It's basically a biography of these three men and how World War I happened. So that's all I have to say about this book. And if you're into this kind of history, which I know one of my subscribers is, because he told me in a comment section, so if you're into this book, I really would recommend reading it. It's a really good read. It's really long. It's 21 hours on Audible. So it's really, really long, so be prepared for that. So, and I hope you enjoyed this book review, and I'm pretty sure I'll have another one soon. I might read a book talking about Helen Keller next, a children's book. So that's what I'm going to read next, probably. Or maybe the book about Alexandra Fedorovna, I don't know. But I hope that you enjoyed this book, and thank you again for 261 subscribers. Thank you so much. I think I said that earlier today, but thank you again for 261 subscribers, and share this video if you like it, and subscribe if you enjoyed my content, and you can get notifications of when I upload videos. Bye guys.